What is up, everybody? This is going to be another video, and I wanted to talk about how I decided to start making moves after months and months of planning, months and months of doing a lot of research. I have been 2 years ago, almost 3. We made a decision. Me and my wife made a decision that we wanted to get into real estate. But at the time, we were tired of living in our townhome. Now, in hindsight now, I'm thinking to myself, damn, we probably should have stayed in that townhome a little bit longer. But our plan now and our plan wasn't our plan before. Our plan was, let's just get into a home that we can be comfortable in with all of our kids, all of our stuff. And then we'll go on from there. We'll move on from there on how to establish and get more real estate properties, because we want to do rentals. We don't want to do flip. We want to do long-term rentals, generate cash flow, passive income. And so what we have been looking at, which I'm hung up on, we're kind of at an impasse here, because what I want to do right now is house hack. And I want to house hack with my VA loan. I'm a veteran, so I have my veteran entitlements, my veteran benefits, and I want to be able to use we use my VA loan on my current house, which is about 3,000 square feet. It's a really nice home. I was also fortunate enough that when I got this home, I was able to pay for a lot of the stuff in the home, if not all of it, through my investments. I have a lot of investments like Bitcoin. Mainly a lot of it was Bitcoin. But I was able to do a lot of that through the investments. So getting this house, literally, oh, excuse me. Excuse me. One second.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
What was the order name?
Joey.
Here you go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And then here's your drink.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. But anyway, so for example, the reason why we made this move. So for example, we were staying in a barely 1,200 square foot home, 2-story townhome, duplex. And that was like right after I got out of the military. It was a little tough because we were moving around. Like, I moved off base into an apartment, because when I got out at the time, they were only allowing active duty to stay on base. We were trying to stay on base. Didn't happen, so we had to move. The first place we moved into, it was absolutely a horrific experience. So bad that they eventually let us out of our lease because of the issues and the problems that we were having were so severe. And long story short on that, they did not want to let us out of our lease until I had to go to JAG. I had to go to JAG, military lawyers, which is a free benefit. And they had to get involved. And with one phone call and with one letter, those people let us out of our lease ASAP. So that was a good thing. After that, the next problem was we had to find another place, and we had to find a place quick. So we found this place. It was near the base where we still worked. My wife works there, and I work there as well. So got that place. It was doing just fine. We were having our third child, my son. And so it was really, we were already busting at the seams. It was just not enough room. So the amount of rent that we were paying was $1,000, right? $1,000 a month. Not bad. We were able to make that just fine. It was not a big problem. And that's what the houses cost around here in San Antonio if you want to rent. Around $1,000 minimum for a duplex or actual single family home. So we were doing that. And I started thinking, I started thinking like I always do when I get obsessed with things. I'm like, man, we got to get a house. We got to get a house. We got to get some real estate. We got to do something. At the time, I was mainly thinking of getting a place, staying in that place, but getting an investment property. My wife is like, we don't really need an investment property right now. We need a house for ourselves. That's plenty big that we can grow into. Cool. So I started looking at houses, and it never really occurred to me to use my VA benefit right away. I was thinking of FHA, different other conventional loans. And long story short, we got my current house now for literally an $87 difference. $87 difference than what I was paying for in the townhome. So we're paying $1,000 there. Now I'm paying $1,000. We're paying $1,087 for the current home that we stay in, and it's at 3,000 square feet. So it's a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer, and we got it built. So it was a no-brainer to go that route. And now we're in the phase of finding an actual investment property or house hacking. So the options that I have after going over and over and over, where I want to sacrifice and buy a fourplex or a quadplex. The only caveat or the only downside to that is we would have to downgrade once again and sacrifice the 3,000 square foot luxury that we have been living for the last couple of years, and we would have to downsize to about 13 to 1,600 square feet for at least a year. Now, for me, this deal sounds like, to me, this is what I want to do, because I'm looking at it in the long term. I'm looking at it as in, okay, we get a fourplex, completely new build, renovated, granite countertops, great flooring. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already done. You're not buying an old building and have to put in a lot of equity and all this stuff. It's already done. And the current rents for that area, for that size, and for what these fourplexes are already renting for in the same neighborhood, they're already renting for $1,500 to $1,600 a month per unit, right? So, and you're talking about 14 to 1,600 square feet depending on the plan. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, shit, if we move into that place, the rent cost is only going to be close to $4,000 a month, right? Now, that's close to $4,000 a month. I'm thinking, well, because I'm a disabled veteran, I don't have to pay taxes. I don't have to pay home taxes. So now you take that almost $4,000 a month and you completely delete the property tax. Now you're looking at only paying around $2,400 a month. If you got a fourplex and we're living in there for a year, you have 3 tenants paying $1,600, $1,500 to $1,600 a month to stay there, to pay that $2,400 a month, right? The rest of that is positive cash flow. That's going to be going into your reserves, and if anything goes wrong, it's a new build, so you have warranty for the first couple years. You have foundation warranty and stuff like that, but that cash flow is going into your bank to pay for shit if it breaks, things like that, things of that nature, and for your pocket. So once you move out of there after a year into another primary residence, I have to take that tax exemption off, make the mortgage go back up to close to around $4,000, but still now you have 4 units that you can rent at $1,500 to $1,600 a month. That completely obliterates the mortgage payment and is still positive cash flow. That's how I'm seeing it. I want to move into this fourplex, and then after a year move into what I would call our forever home. I want at least 1 acre, at least minimum 1 acre and at least 3,000 square feet, a 3,000 square foot home. But I want my own land. I don't want to be next to neighbors anymore, and that's kind of my plan. In that same situation, our current house would also become a rental property. So that's how you can use the VA to house hack. That's how you can use FHA to house hack, and it's a very, very smart idea if you want to get into real estate investment. Because if you use conventional loans, I mean, you have to have like 20 to 25% down, and so you're thinking that if you look at a $100,000 house, 20% down, that's $20,000. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of money. Not everybody has $20,000 for a $100,000 house just sitting around. So if you're looking at decent properties, and depending on your market, my market, a decent property, like a really, really good property, would be close for a single family home would be about 200 to 280. So you think about 20% down on that, you have to have a lot of cash. And so that's not the only way you're going to get that cash is if you try to pull out that home equity from your current home, if you have a home, to do that. Or you just have to have a balling business or private money to get that kind of down payment. A lot of people don't have that. So the easiest way to house hack is to get into a duplex or something like that, to where you can cash flow, or you can start paying down, getting equity to be able to pull out and then go put that down on another place. FHA loans require you to stay at least 12 months. The VA loan does not have a time requirement. The only requirement is that you have to move in within 60 days of closing. But to not try to come for not looking like you're committing mortgage fraud, you really need to stay in your place for at least a year. That shows that you intended to stay there, and then you're moving on. You're not committing mortgage fraud. So I would say at least a year, you should be good. You will be good. Don't get into a place and then try to leave 3 months later. Like, even though there's no rule against that, it looks bad. It looks like you're definitely trying to commit fraud, or use the system to get rental properties. So that's the plan. My wife does not want to go into a quadplex or fourplex. She wants to actually move into our forever home now, rent our current place out, take the equity from our current home and use that equity to purchase another property. My only issue with that is you still run into the issue of having to, or if you have to have enough equity to use a investment property loan. So you have to have that 20% down to buy another home. So we would have to find homes between the $50,000 to $150,000 range, or even up to $200,000. And keep in mind that we're going to have 20% down. We have to have that much equity. That's the only way it would make sense, because we can't go from our forever home. I'm not renting that out. So I'm not gonna move from there into a smaller place again. I'm not gonna do that. So we're trying to figure it out, but that's what I'm trying to move into. You got to be an entrepreneur. You have to think smart. You got to think hard of what you're gonna do and how you're gonna get to where you want to be. My business is helping catapult that. My t-shirt business is helping catapult that. My Glowforge business is helping catapult that. I'm taking those reserves, and once I pay off my debt, that amount of money is going to go into what I want to do with real estate. Real estate is the really heavy hitter. That's where you're going to make a lot of your money long term. That's where I'm going to get that financial freedom, and I can sit back and run my business without a sweat. I don't have to worry about, oh man, I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I didn't make this much this month. It doesn't matter, because I have this much more coming in from my rental investments. So there's not a lot of pressure to succeed with your business, because you have that backup. You're not going to be losing. So that's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Expand your horizons. Think of ways that you can secure your financial freedom in the future, in the long run, and even enjoy some of that stuff now. Signing off. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.